Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your favorite Chess Journal YouTube channel. Today, let's continue with the series of games where we talk about chess strategies for intermediate level players. It doesn't mean that you'll have to be an intermediate level player to watch these games. Even if you are a beginner, I'm sure you're gonna learn something or take something away from these games. So let's try to look for an opponent. I've logged into chess24.com, a beautiful site, I must say. Magnus Carlsen is the owner of this website, and try it out yourself, guys, and I'm sure you'll like it as much as I do. And now we're waiting for an opponent. Okay, and we've got black pieces, and well, it's a guest, I see. I'm not sure whether I'm gonna play with a guest. Okay, let's play the Pierce defense or the Pirc defense, as I've found out that a lot of you like to see me playing Pirc defense. Let's try the Czech Pirc with c6 on board. Okay, and they're playing quick. Now the purpose of this move is actually to target this weak pawn on f7 square. One day they want to jump in with the knight and attack this pawn or this square, so to say. Now, how do we continue? Are we worried actually? Not really. We can finish development. So let's develop this in Pierce defense or Pirc defense. This knight usually is being developed first, and then I think I've had these kind of positions a couple of times in couple of my games. They have played d3. I guess playing here was their best move. Now we've got a couple of options. We could pin their knight, or because they played d3, we can now strike in the center immediately. And since we are intermediate level players now here, these kind of moves, if your opponent allows you to play, then you should play. I mean, these are called time management, not time management in the clock, but in the moves. I mean, if we play here and then play here, that's gonna waste a tempo. So time management, both in terms of clock and move wise speaking, is very important. So we are today gonna be talking about time management in both in terms of clock and move wise. So move wise time management is also known as the tempo or tempi, whichever way you wanna call it. It's like grabbing the initiative, and they have decided to capture. Now we are going to recapture with our c pawn, and look, we are already controlling, and they are bound to retreat their ally square bishop. So we have gained a little victory already. Now we can safely pin their knight, or we can play here. That's gonna be a positional game. So let's calculate. What if we play here first? I'm sure they're gonna try to kick out our light square bishop, and in that case we're gonna take the knight. Today I'm gonna preserve this light square bishop, so let's play e6. I'm preserving this light square bishop as for the sake of instructive content or instructions as well, because this pawn push makes our light square bishop a bad bishop, right? it can only move to this square, d7. So how are you going to play with your bad bishop or bad pieces? So that's going to be one of the instructions. In general, I love playing here, keeping our light square bishop not bad. But what if you have to play in this way and you have to play with a bad piece? So that's something that you need to learn. So which is why we are playing with a bad bishop today. So we're going to be learning these as well. So now they have pinned down knight. Let's give it a check first and see how they react. If they react with c3, that's not a good move. That's going to be weaken their d3 pawn. And that's also going to be a tiny little victory for us. So as discussed, they have played the bad move or the worst move. Now, where does our bishop go? We shouldn't go back here. We could actually go here, but I prefer this dark square bishop's most active square is here, d6. So let's retreat here, because from d6 it can cover both of these crucial diagonals. We're not worried if they take here. We're gonna retake with the queen, or sometimes I even take here, but my plan is to castle short, so that's why I'll probably take with the queen. Our plan is to develop this knight here, and then we're gonna think about what to do with this bad bishop in our camp. So today we are learning a couple of things. First is the time management, and the second one is dealing with the bad bishop. Now here we, as we already learned from the Chess Strategy for Beginners series, and if you're new to this channel, go check it out in the playlist. There are some cool contents. And those of you are already subscribed, I believe you already know this, and I thank you very, very much for subscribing. Those of you who are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. It really motivates me. Now we're going to stick to our plan. And this knight is immobilized here. It's not going to jump here. It can only, it can only jump here and attack our dark square bishop. But in that case, our dark square bishop can retreat to this square. So let's develop. That's also gaining actually time on the move or tempo. So look at them. They are moving their pieces twice early in the game. So that's not a good thing at all. On the contrary, we are developing, even though we are playing with black pieces. So that's why I must say that we're doing better. So how have you guys been doing lately? I hope everyone is doing great. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking in, or thanks for checking out my last games or latest games as well, and providing me with your continuous support. It really means a lot to me. So now they have decided to pin this knight with the light square bishop. Probably they want to capture this knight. Then we have our queen to retake, or even if, whatever it is, they don't have any strong threat. I don't see. If they decide to take our light square bishop, so we're gonna capture with our light square bishop. So let's castle, finish our development as quickly as possible. Then what is our plan? We have got a lot of options, a lot of good moves actually. What are the candidate moves? We could play, this knight is now not pinned, so it can jump in here in the center. And this bishop is pesky, so we could try to kick it out. Okay, so they have decided to give up their dark square bishop. And now, as planned, let's retake with the queen, although taking with the knight was alright. But I'm gonna see if they take out knight. In that case, they're gonna lose their bishop pair. Bishop pairs are good for endgames if you have them. Knights are good for closed games or early in the games. Now they have decided to play queen f3. They surely want to get rid of our queen. That's a good strategy because if you know that your opponent is stronger, try to get rid of their queens. So now what do we do? What do we do? Where do we go with our queen? We surely don't want to exchange our queens. Let's put our queen here so that she can keep an eye on this weak pawn. So they'll have to make sure that their queen is here guarding this pawn. So we are tying down their queen, and they're still lagging development. So if you are an intermediate level player, and if you have made this far by watching the games or strategies we talked about in the beginner level series, you know by now already that development should always be a priority. So if you are developed um, uh, if you are developed better than your opponent, then you can actually create a lot of pressure to your opponent's camp. Clockwise speaking, we are doing good as well. So they have decided to play knight b5, trying targeting our dark square bishop. But here, as we already learned from the beginner series, we do not necessarily react to our opponent's threat. Either we look for counter threat here. What is worth more than a bishop? Definitely the queen. How can we attack their queen, as well as put one of our pieces in a better square? Definitely playing knight to e5 that attacks their queen, so they don't have time. They don't have time to capture our dark square bishop, as well as we're gonna gain this pawn that comes with the tempo on the king. See, that's why development is so crucial. Had they been castle, we wouldn't have this check here. So they are losing a lot of time, a lot of tempos, and we are gaining a lot of counterplay in their camp. Okay, so it's good to see that they are thinking clockwise speaking. We are both doing almost equal in time. So they have to react because their queen is threatened. Where can this queen go? I don't know, honestly. Surely our threat is to capture this pawn if the queen moves. So we're gonna take this pawn, comes with they're gonna lose castling right as well. So they are already in trouble, which means we are definitely doing better in this game. Again, okay, these guys from Republic of China, as I can see on the left side of the board. Sorry guys, you can't see it because for the sake of magnification or enlarging the board, I had to cut out the left side of the screen capture. So what do you guys reckon? Are you guys learning a lot from this channel? I bet you are, because um okay, now I can see one thing as well. What was the queen used to do here? This queen used to guard this pawn as well as this pawn, right? So we have got a couple of good moves. So we can take this pawn that comes a tempo with the tempo on the king, and our Doskar bishop is undefended, but we can take this pawn, right? So that's gonna be a threat that they need to be, that they'll have to be reacting with. So if we can, in one of our previous games, we talked about that if we can play, not the one of our previous game. In the previous game, we talked about multi-purpose move. So this is another multi-purpose move. So putting a lot of pressure in their camp, so they don't have time. Again, they don't have time to take this dot square bishop of ours, because we're gonna be an exchange up. And they cannot threaten our queen, so which is why capturing here this g2 pawn is perfectly all right. We also have this square to give a check. I think we should do that, and that pawn is loose as well. Okay, so let's give it a check. Knight f3, and oh boy, they're really in tough situation. I mean, they have a couple of escape squares, this one and this one. They go here, then bye-bye rook. Their rook is gone. So they have to play here. I hope they see that. And if they play here, we can forsake our bishop, because we could win another pawn. And, you know, that rook is still loose. Yeah, let's take this one. There's no point of thinking much, because a rook is worth more than a bishop. Notice that we still have the Daskar bishop. I wanted to show you guys how to deal with the Daskar bishop, but we've got a lot of better moves than dealing with the Daskar bishop, so we're not worried at all with our Daskar bishop, fortunately. Or maybe unfortunately, because I wanted to show you guys how to play with the Daskar bishop. That's a passive move. Sorry for the background noise, guys. So that's a passive move. Playing here would have been better, or even here. And now we don't have any, since we don't have any other, this check is not gonna give us anything but put us in trouble here, maybe. Although we could play that, but now we could actually, all right, hang on a second. This queen is here, and that's a dark square. Okay, let's first move this bishop away, out of fire, and then we'll probably play something like this aggressively, and then tag their queen. And then the queen is guarding this square. Now the knight is guarding this square. That's a good move. Now how do we play? Oh, How do we play? Okay, we can play in the center, right? Let's play e5 because this bishop is now guarding that square. So they don't have, again, they cannot capture this bishop. And they have decided to attack our queen, but queen has squares to go to. But hang on a second. Hang on a second. We also have this check, right? And the only defense is here because this pawn is pinned. So yeah, now if they play there, then we are going to take with the queen, the knight, so we're gonna win a piece at the end of the transaction. Yeah, I feel sorry for my opponent. Again, Czech Pirc defense has yeah, let's take this one. So they have to take, or they could actually go back. Has again proved to be strong. Now so we are piece up. A lot of pawns up as well. They can now safely resign unless they want to continue. So how did we manage to get in this position? By simply time management, or not clockwise, or I mean both clockwise and move wise. And we took advantage of their poor play. Now what move can we play? This knight cannot jump in this square, so let's push this knight to an awkward square. Then we could target this pawn by playing here. That knight was used to reside in our territory. Although we don't have any immediate threat, but I have had bad experiences, so I don't like them. Whenever I see opponents, any of the pieces are residing in our camp, that's kind of give me a bad signal. So they had to go in that square. Now we can play again in the center. We could have gone here though, but playing in the center is better than playing in the flank. So if they take, we could consider retaking with the pawn or with the bishop. Both are good. We can. I think I'm gonna take with the bishop because this is a fork. So we always look for check, capture, threats, forks, and pins. As well as undefended or unguarded pieces and the blunder check. So they shouldn't take, they should push. Yeah, that's what they did. Good for them. Now this square is open for us. Let's give a check, and Do I see mate somehow? No, I guess they've got escape squares. This escape square. But we are closer to mate, right? Okay, they went there. They went there. Okay. So they okay, I didn't calculate that one. Now we can attack this weak pawn. Let's come down here. We already talked about it. But like I said, time pushing this one or playing in the center was better than playing this move earlier. But now this move, now is the time to play this move. So as you can see, time management or prioritizing your moves. That's what time management is all about, not clockwise, move-wise, move order-wise. So there are a lot of ways. I mean, people talk about these. Some say move order, some say tempis, some say time management, move order wise. I say prioritizing your moves or time management. They're running out of time. Clockwise speaking, they cannot. Because if they play here, then we have this move. This rook is trapped. Yeah, I think we're gonna win on time in this game. Okay, what is that move? Okay, now I don't see any danger of capturing that pawn. Okay, so we won the game. And yeah, that's about it for now. Thank you for watching this game, and if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Okay, till the next time, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.